In Japan, there's a famous proverb that states, "The nail that sticks out gets hammered down," or "Deru kugi wa utareru" in Japanese. For outsiders who don't understand Japanese culture, this may sound harsh and oppressive, but within Japan, it serves as a cultural blueprint for a harmonious, orderly, and uniform society. Think of it this way. If you're building a structure and a single nail sticks out higher than the rest, the whole surface becomes uneven. When this happens, we don't celebrate the nail's uniqueness. We hammer it down so everything remains level. The desire for uniformity in Japan is based on the concept of wa, one of Japan's most profound cultural influences. It's a belief that the group functions best when individuals avoid conflict, maintain calm interactions, and act in ways that support the collective. Today on Easternized, we break down this famous proverb and seek to understand how wa shapes Japan's one-of-a-kind culture. As a small island country with limited natural resources, Japan's early communities relied on tight cooperation for tasks like rice farming, irrigation, and mere survival. Cooperation wasn't optional, it was a survival skill. During the Edo period, from 1603 to 1868, Japanese communities were tightly structured and highly regulated. Anyone who caused disruption risked punishment or ostracization. Or, in other words, they were protruding nails who were hammered down. But these nails weren't hammered merely for being different. They were hammered for threatening group stability. This community-first mentality became woven into Japan's DNA, where even today, individuals exist as part of the group, and individual successes and failures are shared by everyone. Even though Japan's economy has evolved since its agricultural heyday, wa remains the driving force behind Japanese life. When walking the streets of Japan, we rarely see locals in colorful outfits. Even in major cities like Tokyo or Osaka, nearly everyone is dressed in black or gray. In schools, children don't merely wear matching uniforms. They carry the same backpacks, eat the same foods, and clean their classrooms together. From a young age, children are taught that maintaining shared spaces is everyone's responsibility. A major reason why Japan is one of the cleanest countries on earth. While schools plant the seeds of wa, the workplace is where it fully blooms. Japanese corporate culture is famous, or infamous, for its rigid hierarchies and unwritten rules. When you join a company, you're not just taking a job, you're joining a family. And in that family, everyone has their place. For example, there's the practice of staying at work until your boss leaves, even if you've finished your tasks. Why? Because leaving early makes you look uncommitted and disrupts the collective image of dedication. It doesn't matter if you're more efficient. What matters is showing you're part of the team. These unspoken rules are part of a critical skill in Japan called kuki o yomu, or reading the air. Communication in Japan is very indirect, and this stems from a desire to avoid conflict at all costs. Because of this, Japanese people have developed a keen ability to understand what is unspoken, or read the air, and adjust their behavior accordingly. For example, instead of politely asking a guest to leave their house, a Japanese person might compliment their guest's watch, a subtle way of telling them to check the time, thus signaling they have overstayed their welcome. Here's where things get really interesting. Modern Japan is experiencing a tension between traditional conformity and global individualism. Younger generations who have been exposed to Western media and ideas increasingly question whether hammering down every nail is healthy. There's growing discussion about mental health, work-life balance, and personal fulfillment, concepts that conflict with traditional group-first mentality. The herbivore men phenomenon, young men who reject traditional aggressive career ambition and masculine expectations, is one example of people opting out. Another example is young people changing jobs more frequently, something that was once unthinkable in the Japanese workplace. Yet, despite the pushback, fundamental structures remain powerful in Japan. Although companies are slowly reforming and schools are starting to give more attention towards creativity, workplaces still operate on traditional principles, and uniformity remains dominant in the classroom. The challenges modern-day Japan faces are real. How do you maintain social harmony while also allowing individuality that supports innovation, mental health, and personal satisfaction? How do you evolve a philosophy that's worked for centuries without losing what makes Japanese society function so well? Some argue the nail metaphor needs updating for the modern age. Others insist that abandoning it would lead to social fragmentation and strip Japan of a key part of its unique culture. The nail that sticks out gets hammered down isn't just a saying in Japan. It's a lived reality that shapes millions of lives every day. It creates a society with incredibly low crime, efficient public services, and strong social cohesion. But it also creates pressure, suppresses individuality, and causes deep unhappiness for those who don't fit the mold. Understanding this philosophy helps us understand why Japan is the way it is, both its remarkable strengths and its ongoing challenges. The question isn't whether the nail should stick out or be hammered down. The question is, what kind of society does Japan want to build? And what are they willing to sacrifice to build it? If you found this video insightful, please like and subscribe for more deep dives into Asian culture and philosophy. Until next time, thanks for watching.